In this video, I'm going to be talking about the electron arrangement in atoms. Now, as you guys know, we said in the last video that atoms are made up of subatomic particles, and these subatomic particles are known as protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay. Now, the reason why electrons or electron arrangement in atoms is crucial to understand, or is a different topic which needs to be understood, is because the other two subatomic particles, which are protons and neutrons, are always situated in the center of an atom, which is known as the nucleus. Okay, while electrons are in or surround the nucleus. Now let's talk about. Let's give an example in order to talk about electron arrangement in atoms. Okay, so let's say we have an atom of lithium. Okay, so lithium, we've talked about this before. So in order to calculate, or we said that this is the proton number, this is the nucleon number. Okay, and we said that it has 6 protons, it has 6 electrons, therefore it has 6 electrons, and it has 5, no, sorry, I made a mistake. We said that it has 3 electrons because proton number is here. 3 protons, and protons and electrons are always the same in atoms, or same in order for the atom to have no overall charge. And the number of neutrons is nucleon number minus proton number, so therefore 4 neutrons. Okay, so now let's draw a small sketch of that. So let's say purple dots are neutrons. Okay, these are neutrons. These blue dots over here are protons. Okay, and let's draw a really light line around it. Okay, and the electrons are situated over here. Okay, now we move on to the discussion of electron arrangement in particles or atoms. Okay, so one thing, or we've already discussed this, is that electrons are not in the nucleus, are not situated in the nucleus, are not situated in the nucleus. Okay, rather they are situated in these of things over here, which are called orbits or energy levels. So the electrons are situated in shells, and they're not called orbits, shells. I've made a mistake. Are situated. I'm just saying, did I spell this? Situated in shells or energy levels. Okay, each energy level has a different, or has different energy, so like, which I'll talk about in a moment. Okay, so the more you move away from the nucleus, the higher the energy level in a shell. So the more, or the further you move away from the nucleus, the higher the energy, the higher the energies in each or shell. So just write that down. The further away a shell is from the nucleus, the more energy that shell will have. Or let's say the higher the energy that shell will have, will have. Okay. And one more rule is that the electrons fill in from the inside and move outwards. So let's say another electron, which I'll be talking about in a few seconds, let's say another electron decided to join in and he came here. He would come here. Why? Because the first energy level is already full, which brings me to another point. The first shell can only hold 2 electrons. The rest, this is for IG syllabus, the rest can hold up to 8 electrons. Okay. So now let's talk about what happens when an atom loses or gains an electron. Okay, so as you guys know, let's talk about lithium again. Okay, so lithium, as you guys can see, lithium over here, I'll just redraw this. So 3 protons, 4 neutrons, and then the energy levels. Okay. So the first shell can handle 2 and the rest or surrounding shells can handle it. Remember that these electrons they don't stay in a place, they move around in the same energy level. Okay, so now we move on. Okay, now as you can see, in order for this atom or this lithium atom to gain a stable electron shell or stable outer shell, it can either gain 7 electrons, or it can lose 1 electron. We'll talk about where do these electrons come from in the next videos. So they can either gain or lose electrons or electrons respectively. Okay. Now, as you can see, the thing is that lithium or atoms themselves, they usually want a stable outer shell. So as you can see, this shell is not stable. It can have one shell which is stable, which is this one, or it can gain 7 electrons for its second or its outer shell to become stable. Which one is easier? Is to just lose 1 electron. So when lithium loses 1 electron, if lithium loses this electron, its electron, therefore it changes to something like this. Okay, number of neutrons stays the same, number of protons stays the same, however the number of neutrons changes. Then it becomes into something like this, and it has a stable outer shell because the first energy level can only take in 2 electrons. Therefore it has a stable outer shell, and it has become an ion, This is a lithium ion. Now what is an ion? We'll talk about chemical bonding and ions in the next video. And just for your reference, an ion is a charged particle. As a result of a gain or loss of electrons. Okay, so this is everything about electron arrangement. In the next video I'm going to be talking about how do atoms change into ions and then bond with each other. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please do like, share, subscribe and comment.